so badly want to do an RFK
anti-Israel.
impression.
I'm a week away from buying an RFK flag and like putting it on my truck.
I don't debate conspiracy theorists.
No one thinks Lee Harvey Oswald killed JFK anymore. That's crazy.
Because on the heels of our unity, we must unite our community. Welcome back to
Buckle up, baby. Riverside.
Riverside again. We are remote, but I kind of like this. It's kind of fun. Kind of nice. We're in different states. I am in Los Angeles, and you are in
New Jersey. Yeah. I like this. There's a different quality to the Riverside episodes that I like.
I kind of think so. I don't know what it is. It gives it's a different flavor.
You know? Yeah, and it's nice. We can turn them around quickly too, so we can talk.
In some self-reflection, it's interesting when you go topical on some of the stuff we discussed. Like some of the stuff from our last Riverside, like struck nerves in the interwebs.
Yeah, well, yeah. Who knew people want to listen to podcasts about things that are happening in the world? It's
Not
wild,
a kiddish.
man.
No, but
well, the thing with Vivek, proportionally for us blew up relative to our other stuff. But I was telling you, I think it's right on the Kozak strategy. If you find fiercely loyal small groups of audiences that no matter what you put out about the people they want to hear about, they'll comment and click and watch. So you do that with Jordan Peterson and Gary Vee, and now we're a Vivek podcast.
Yeah. It was interesting, and I'm glad you sent me remember we reflected on RFK and my issues with him on the Israel stuff and the Roger Waters stuff, and then you found that clip, and I said, it's a little hard to believe you.
What was the clip? What was the clip?
So you sent me a clip of, so what happened was he tweeted support for Roger Waters generally, keep fighting the good fight. I so badly want to
in response to his
so badly want to do an RFK impression. I so badly want to do it.
I think it's fair. I think it's like,
I really do, because that's how he sounds, just like anybody else.
It just is how he sounds.
Yeah, and I've been listening to him, and he actually looks great. He looks like he's in great shape, and he's giving his opinions on things, and it's actually not that bad.
I don't think he would say, how dare you acknowledge my voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I don't want to single him.
Handicap.
Isn't it rude to say, I will not imitate you, softy? He can take it.
I agree.
Everyone has a voice. They don't choose their voice, and that's the way it is. I just I almost see it as like
that was pretty good. He's like a little distant.
A little bit back here, and it goes here, and then it comes forward. And realistically, the pharmaceutical industry is. I just think
he's so handsome, and it looks like he's in such good shape. If he had like a silky, booming voice, it would be like so appealing.
It's interesting, but it's amazing to see how far one can come, even with perceived disabilities or issues, and it's more about how you present, and it's like people just accept it, and that's it. Like, so good on him. Just like on the total sidetrack, when I've been watching these Kill Tony roasts. Have you seen that? Kill Tony like stand-up bits and stuff, and some of the biggest ones blowing up on Kill Tony are these two, like someone with cerebral palsy and someone who can't speak at all, and he uses an iPad. I forget. I want to say his name here, but I can't, and they're freaking out. He writes all the stand-up via iPad and then has a voice that goes, Tony, you look like a worm, and it's like very, very funny because it's good writing. Anyway, back to RFK. I went off because he had written this general support for Roger Waters. He then deleted the tweet, and he went on to clarify on Glenn Greenwald's show. He was being interviewed by Glenn Greenwald and said that the reason he deleted the tweet was, I had generally supported Roger Waters for his views on Ukraine and the war and COVID, but I was not really aware of his views on Israel, and as I dug deeper, he went on to explain that he was very, very strongly against Roger Waters' positions on Israel, and he didn't just make like this classic apologetic case, he didn't start giving talking points of what he's supposed to say to like repair his statements or his relationship with either the Jewish community or the pro-Israel community, or whatever it is. He gave his own opinion about it. That's what I liked about that clip. He was like, no, Glenn, you can't have a double standard with Israel and the Arab world. You can't have a double standard with Israel and the rest of the world. It's a democracy, and it's a flawed democracy like everything else, but it is a democracy. And if you're a dissenting voice, where do you want to be? Do you want to be in the Arab world, or do you want to be in other parts of the Middle East, or do you want to be in Israel? You want to be in Israel. And Glenn was like, yeah, okay, fine. That's all well and good, fine. But Israel's still, like, Glenn was trying to get back to know Israel's still bad a little bit, because he's been very vocally critical of Israel policy, but Israel in general over the years. Glenn Greenwald has. But I would appreciate the fact that RFK Jr. it's a little weird that it doesn't take much to know about Roger Waters' views on Israel and all this obsession with Jews and Israel and all that, but I'll take him at his word. He wasn't aware of it, and so he pulled that because he kind of, basically, when you sent me that, I was like, oh, okay. He cleared that up. He's like, no, that wasn't about Israel stuff, and then he gave his own sort of, I thought out position support of Israel, which seemed genuine to me and thought through. You muted yourself, Michael. You muted yourself.
Sorry, it looks like my mic is not coming through as the Yeti.
Are you sure?
It's coming through as the Mac. Yeah, does it sound good to you?
So it's in your headphones, so it sounds good. I would just keep it.
Yeah, okay.
I think
fine.
you're using the headphone mics.
All right, so
Tap your mic like this. Just tap it.
Yeah, it's
maybe.
Not coming through.
You sure?
All right, well, if this is
hearing.
Yeah, all right, I'll keep it.
Keep it here.
Yeah, I don't. It says the mic here.
Looks a little like a weird robotic dildo, but it's fine.
Yeah. Well, if it's not being used anyway.
I want to see if your voice changed. Okay.
Does it change now?
No. Then your headphone mics are good. We're both on headphone mics today.
All right. Right. So RFK gave that thing. Yeah. So you're back on the RFK train with.
I'm not on the train.
Israel train.
I'm not on the train, but I'm not off of it in terms of that really turned me off. I was like, oh God, RFK. I'm not that everyone's a one policy thing, but on certain issues where it's so vehemently gross, like what Roger Waters was doing with a Nazi paraphernalia in his show, and then RFK supporting him, not realizing that's what he was supporting. So once he realized that, I guess, he kind of owned up to it and said, yeah, I didn't realize that. That's not what I was. I'm not on board with that.
So I sent that clip to you as a wow, look, he's actually has a pretty reasonable stance on Israel. Mm-hmm. That's reassuring. Mm-hmm. But then I watched Brianna Joy Gray's podcast today with Cornel West. You know who either of those people are?
I know Cornel West, yeah.
So Brianna Joy Gray,
the community of our unity. That's why I'm a Christian, brother.
Yeah.
She works for Obama in some capacity. She was like a big
brother Obama, and that's
person.
why a sister who worked for Obama is a brother.
He, he's running for president.
Okay, I've heard.
He's running for president, not as a Democrat, but in the Green Party, which I think is significant because he won't be like a write-in. He'll actually be on the ballot. And I suppose if there's a debate, he might be on the ticket too, or whatever, on the stage to have a debate. But so she was talking to him as if RFK, this big drama that like RFK gave into the Israel lobby and backtracked on his courageous statement against Israel, and they talked for like 45 minutes about the plight of the Palestinian people and how important it is, et cetera, as if what RFK said was like a damaging thing, which I suppose is predictable, but it was a little bit unnerving, especially because Cornel West seems to be pretty cool in every other area or sense.
He seems like a fun hang, but I can tell you, the way I feel about Cornel West is exactly how people who hate Jordan Peterson feel about Jordan Peterson. To me, Cornel West speaks in big phrases and lots of word salad and lots of things and says nothing. That's what I hear. When I hear him, I'm like,
because on the heels of our unity, we must unite our community to the brothers and sisters around the world, to the plight of the people, of the Christians, the Muslims, the Jews, the Israelis, and the Palestinians, my brother.
I'm like,
he's extremely confident about every single thing that comes out.
But I'm like, you just said nothing. You said everything and nothing. There's nothing there. And I know, I guess ideologically he's a big socialist, Marxist, I don't know. He's espoused those views politically. But he doesn't give these, his intellectual defenses of his positions are just
because the pain that we impose is the pain that we suppose to be retracted, to be extracted, to be galvanized, to be unified, to be petrified by not just the Israelis, but the Palestinians around the world, and Saudi Arabia, and the Muslim world, and the Christian world, and the United States. And that's why I'm a Christian, my brother.
And that's why jazz is the best form of music.
It's all jazz. Whether you're playing jazz, it doesn't matter. Trumpet, trombone, saxophone, drums, bass, guitar. You're doing it all, Brother Michael. And that's why Brother Michael and Brother Ami are discussing and conversing and unifications of the world, my brother.
So it's interesting because him and RFK and Marianne Williamson.
Yes.
Who else? Yeah.
You love the no-shot candidates. It's funny. I mean,
no. So that's the thing. RFK
and Vuzak,
I think and Marianne Williamson are both, I think, polling at numbers that would require them to be in a debate. So meaning they're no shot, especially if you like follow the news. But if you kind of look at the numbers and you look at like the not their numbers now, but the what's the right word? The direction, the
trajectory,
the trend. They're trending in very strong directions. It's interesting that like these three people who kind of talk about like more the soul of America and kind of our ethical responsibilities seem to be hitting a nerve. So RFK was just on Joe Rogan.
Well, RFK seems to be the most precise he seems to be the most precise in his positions. The other ones like Marianne Williamson, Cornel West, he's like, Obama, he got a seat at the table, but what did he do with the seat? He sat there, didn't do it. He's not saying anything. Neither is Marianne Williamson.
I don't think Cornel West probably has some specific ideas. I don't think Marianne Williamson is saying anything.
Yeah,
she's also like getting some shit about like being a monster behind the scenes.
Interesting.
Tim Dillon has a really funny
angle on that
of like the crystal. I think he calls them crystal bitches are like the worst human beings on earth.
What a phrase! Did he coin that?
I think he
these
coined
crystal
it, like,
bitches.
They're
monsters. They're like, get me my Diet Coke.
Yeah, that's perfect. It's definitely believable.
Yeah, he was like doing a bit like we all have to get together. Did I ask for milk in my coffee? Did I ask for milk in my coffee? Like yelling at our assistant. But yeah, right. So he was just on Rogan, right? He has some specific ideas.
RFK?